I'd like to call the Douglas Library Board of Trustees regular meeting of November 14th to order. I think we start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Do we have any members of the public present for public comment? Anybody? Okay. Hearing none, I guess we'll launch into reports. The first will be the secretary and the approval of minutes from the last meeting. I believe it was 10/17. I wasn't there, so I can't be part of the discussion.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, may I hear have a vote? Ayes, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Noes? Abstentions, me. Okay. Kevin is going to next give us the financial report.
Okay, so nothing too alarming going on in the financial report. If you take a look at the part-time payroll line, that's what I generally use to make sure that we're roughly on target with where we're supposed to be. So if we've gone through about 35% of that line, we're in pretty good shape everywhere else. We're a little slightly over in supplies, slightly under in materials. So all that's fine. Computer technologies may be a little bit higher because we've been purchasing some items related to the public computer replacement. And that line in general goes more just in like lumps. So it's not something that gradually gets used over the course of the year. It's a couple of large purchases. Any questions?
Does anyone have any questions or thoughts or? No? Hearing none, I guess we're all set with that. And then we launch into the library director's report.
Sure. So our big event since we met last was the annual Haunted Library program that was put on as part of the Harvest Moon Festival.
Nice job, Kevin and staff.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. So the staff did a wonderful job, particularly Jordan Nolan on LTA2, who, planned for the most part everything there. I was there to back him up, but it was his event and he did a wonderful job with it. But throughout the 2-hour event, we had over 500 people come through, and then we had 20 young adult volunteers who all did a great job. Jordan did a great job, and I just hope he's not going to be with us next year to do it, so I hope we're able to replicate it close to as well when he was around. We had another LTA resign from a full-time position for another library. So we've been advertising for an LTA since early October. So that listing closed over the weekend, and I haven't had a chance to take a look at the application pool, but I've got my fingers crossed we get some good people to draw from. AHM's Here For You Mental Health Little Free Library was installed on the agreed upon location. Kevin Kelly's crew dug and put in the post for us, so I thank them very much for me not having to do it with a post hole digger. It looks.
I have an electric one, Kevin.
Don't tell me that. I'll call you next time. Some people, it's been getting some attention. People do see it in the parking lot, so hopefully it's a successful thing. The Children's Department held their annual Goblin Bash on the 29th with a magician and some other activities for younger children. They had about 50 people come through at that event, another successful Halloween event. The annual report to the State Library was completed and submitted in advance of the October 31st deadline. Our public PCs have been replaced with new computer towers by Novus. There's still a few issues that we need to iron out, but for the most part, they seem to function well. So, I'm going to keep working with Novus in the coming weeks to kind of tweak it and get it exactly where we'd like it to be. But they seem to run a lot better than what we had before. So I'm happy and the staff are happy for now. The Building Bridges photo exhibit that's on loan from the Family Diversity Project has extended the loan through the 21st of this month. It's a photo display in the community room. I'm using it as kind of a proof of concept for having other art displays in that area. I think it looks very nice. So please, if you haven't seen it or you happen to be in the building, just, take a walk around the room while you're in there. And Sherry's been working with the librarian at the Gilead Hill School, and she'll be visiting that school to do a story and library talk in January. Before she goes in, she's going to send home forms for parents and children to fill out to get library cards beforehand. So that's a great idea. I'm really excited that that's coming together. And just rolling right into the building updates. Not a whole lot this month, really. No new updates on the roof. So the HVAC is where we were last month as well. The building committee submitted a proposal for hydronic water balancing, and they're waiting for it to be fulfilled by the town manager's office before that can happen. For windows, we're just waiting on delivery from Sanford and Holly for that one window that wasn't replaced in the previous order. The alarm company, we're still working with them to get the alarm system fully functional. It's still the one sensor that the alarm company and ESC haven't been able to figure out exactly what's going on with it. So we continue to troubleshoot there. The annual elevator and backflow testing happened last week. Both of those were good. And the front door handle actually was replaced today. So that's an issue that was ongoing that is fixed now. Any questions on the report or building updates?
No question, but I did see part of the exhibit downstairs in the community room. And I would like to go back and finish looking at it. It's very touching. It's really great. And I was really glad that you put it there. And I heard some positive comments from members of Code as well. They were happy to see it there too. So thank you for doing that.
Well, of course, and I'm glad there's been positive reaction to it. It's a nice
Oh,
little
yeah.
exhibit.
Yeah.
And yeah, just hopefully it, is something we can continue to try and do.
Yeah, some great personal stories. Yeah.
Okay, Friends of the Douglas Library.
Pam sent me a quick email before the meeting just to say there wasn't much to report because their last meeting was canceled. They have a sale coming up this Saturday, so that'll be their big event for the next little bit. So please come out and buy some books on Saturday.
What are the hours for that, Kevin?
Ooh, I think it's 9 to 3.
It is. Yeah, I'll be there working from 12 to 3.
In your
Yes,
spare time, Althea?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, town manager representative, Donna?
Hi there. I am just back from vacation, so I'm catching up on things, but we're finalizing the RFPs for the roof project and for the town facility study. So the facility study is something where we're going to be hiring engineering firm to look at all town buildings, so including the library. So the roof will go out to bid soon, and that with work anticipated to be done in the spring. And hopefully that'll continue to move forward. As Kevin reported, the public computers have been installed, and we do have a few laptop setups for the full-time staff to also be installed. Hopefully those will get taken care of soon. And right now we're waiting for departments to submit their CIP and capital project request forms for 23-24 fiscal year, and soon. The budget request forms will be due also. I think that's it for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Board of Selectmen, Gail isn't with us tonight. I spoke with her. She had a very bad injury to her shoulder and broke her humerus in several places and smashed it where the joint comes into the shoulder. And she was loopy on pain pills, but we did have a good conversation. She didn't really have anything to add except she hopes she'll be with us next week. Okay. So if you want to send her a little card or anything, she's not feeling great at all. It was quite a severe injury. Okay. The next thing is the chairperson's report, and I'm going to give the floor to Althea if she's ready.
Oh, okay. It is with great reluctance and some regrets that I'm not going to be, I guess you call it re-enlisting with the Board of Trustees. As many of you know, I've been a member of the board for quite a while, and I'm a past chairperson of the board, and just longtime supporter, and I'll continue to do that. But I've just got so much on my plate, and I had said that something's got to give, but I didn't realize that the first thing to give was going to be the library board. So I'll continue, with working at book sales. I know that's not the board, but and be a supporter of the library as much as I can. So it's with a little anxiety, and I'll have withdrawal pains because it's been so much a part of my life. But so I have to check with Donna. I think my term is through the end of December. Or is it December 1st? So I don't know if this is my last meeting or the December meeting is. You'll have to tell me that.
I'm pretty sure that this would be your last meeting because the
Oh.
selectmen are doing the reappointments.
Oh, okay.
On this Thursday, they're doing their
Oh.
reappointments, and then the terms begin the first Monday in December.
Oh, okay.
So,
All
yeah,
right.
Oh, Althea, you will be missed.
we will miss you.
Oh,
We sure will,
thank you.
Althea.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've been a backbone of this thing for so many years. May I ask how many years?
I'm not sure exactly how many years, but it's been quite a while that I've been on the board. Yeah, Donna, do you have any idea?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I could look it up, but I don't
Yeah,
know off the top of my head.
I'm curious myself. I know I was president, I think around 2009 or so.
Well, you were a member before that.
Yeah, oh, yes, obvious, yes. And I was a member before that. And I was a friend of the library way before that. And I was president of the Friends of the Library, I think for at least 6 years. Yeah, I've done quite a bit with the library, and I'm still a friend. I'll still work the book sales and everything.
Gail couldn't remember either. She said she remembered sitting around the kitchen table with
Yeah.
you, and
Yeah.
way before the town even took over the library.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I was on the building committee for the quote, the new library building. Yeah, so I guess I'm one of the old people. Yeah, yeah. So I do have a little bit of history. It's kind of amazing because I started out as one of the young people, and it's like, what's happened here?
Yeah, time does that, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's amazing. So, maybe I'm being smart and leaving before I get kicked off, and I have maybe a couple of marbles left, so maybe this is a good thing.
From what I've seen, you'll have your whole bag.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
so. Okay.
Still good. I can fool some of the people. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Althea.
Thank you, Althea.
Thanks.
So,
I just want to follow up on that. I've known Althea for, I think it seems like forever.
Yeah.
um, with, especially in relation to the library, but also as a friend and business colleague and, other town related things. And she is going to be greatly missed. And we know where to find you, Althea. We know where to find you.
Yeah.
But really big shoes to fill. In her position is an association position. So the association will be meeting. We're going to need to have a special meeting to see if we can find someone to fill those shoes. So
Donna,
let's,
Donna, I'm going to join the association if I can.
okay, good.
And that will take care of at least, for a while, the position of having someone from the association. I don't know if that'll work.
It should work.
Mm-hmm.
It could, well, but we still have a vacancy, so then we could fill that with
You can fill
somebody
it
who's
with,
not an association member.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
that should work.
Somebody needs to send me the information so I can join up. I mean, do I have to be interviewed? Or
No, you just
have references?
just have to pay your dues.
Oh, okay. I tried to join the fire police. And I had to get references from 3 people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what, am I a perpetrator? Am I a pervert? What? So I'm still waiting to hear, but they said they needed bodies to stand out in the rain and direct traffic. So we'll see.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good news.
So
Thank you.
Althea, I just wanted to mention that in case you want to join.
Yeah. If I have to stand out in the rain now, that's okay.
Okay. They're getting ready to have their Thanksgiving dinner, so make sure you sign up.
Oh,
Okay, let's move on to.
Before we move on, just
Yes.
I want to just mention that Colleen has also let me know that she's not going to be renewing her appointment for
Oh,
no.
come
this
on.
board, unfortunately. So we're gonna miss having Colleen as well, and it's really, she just got on here, but with everything else that's happening in her life, she doesn't have room for us at the moment, and that's totally understandable.
Right.
My husband,
Yeah, my husband still has some remaining health issues, excuse me, are just consuming a lot, I'm sorry, a lot more of my time than I thought would be resolved at this point. So it's just something I need to focus on now. And unfortunately, the reappointment was a 5-year term. And I simply can't commit to 5 years at this point until he continues to improve. So
We're going to miss you, Colleen.
thank you. I feel like, yes, I just got here and it's, sometimes some curveballs just happen. So.
Yeah, you have been very entertaining.
Right back at you. So maybe I'll come back someday. We'll see.
Oh, that would be
That would
great.
be my hope. Yes. So.
Was it from Hamilton, the song "You'll Be Back"?
Yeah, exactly. Could be my mantra. There we go.
Here we go.
Yes.
Okay, so after all that sad news, I guess we move on to old business, the AHM Mental Health Resource Library. You already mentioned that Kevin goes in and looks good. We can't hear you, which is good.
I was cursing up a storm, so I don't have too much to say that. I included a couple of pictures of how it looked out front there, so I think you can see that just in case you haven't been by the library in the past week or so.
It does look good.
Yeah, it looks nice. It fits naturally there.
Yeah, it fits really well. Good. Okay, I haven't even looked. I saw it, but I didn't look at the materials. But it did look good. All right. Challenge materials policies. Are we working on that tonight?
I don't think we're working on that because, yeah, you and I haven't had a chance
We haven't had
to
a
talk
chance.
about that further. So I think we can just move on unless you want to have any sort of discussion.
Yeah, I have some more policies I want to send to you that I've been getting together. So also I sent Kevin today a policy relating to the First Amendment audits. I'm using the term loosely, where people come in and try to video or photograph the library operations. And I understand we've already had one of those visitors.
No, not
We had
here.
them,
Oh, I'm
we had
sorry.
them at, we had them at the town hall a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was to send some policies over for him to review. So I imagine that'll be up next week. And actually I managed to do it on one page, which was truly amazing. Okay.
Can you share that policy with us though? Because we really would
Kevin, can you
need-
send that over to her? All right, I'll send it too. So
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
want to make sure that all of our departments are responding consistently to those audits.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, you are a public place, a public forum, but I don't think the private offices are a public forum.
They can't walk into the private offices.
Right.
They
And
need to-
and they can't film you on the toilet. So,
No,
and meeting rooms, you don't have to go into the meeting rooms, they don't have to go in the staff rooms. And one of the things that was in the library policy was not to film the children, the minor children while they're in there. So I guess if parents want to get permission, that's their prerogative, but it's not something we should be espousing, I don't think. So it was very short and we'll get that over to you. Maybe Kevin, could you share that with the rest of the board too? Okay, cool. All right. Poet
so
laureate.
I don't know if everybody understands what a First Amendment audit is.
Oh, please describe it. It's so
Um,
dreadful.
So for the rest of the board, there are people who, and it is their living, that, you know, the guy that came into the town hall he has over 100,000 followers on his YouTube channel. And
Was
they
it
come
Tim?
in,
Was that Tim?
his name is, I think it's Joshua from, AFA, the AFA crew.
Oh, okay.
Accountability for all. So they
He
come
was-
in.
One
They
of those
come in-
guys just got held in contempt in court for not paying child support. I wondered if it was that one, but go ahead.
They come in filming with their iPhones or their, you know, and we had two. It was a team of two, a guy and a woman. And they walk through your building. They just keep videotaping you. And what they're looking for is a confrontation. They are looking to engage you and for you to try to shut them down, to tell them they can't be there, they can't do it, you know, and then they'll start talking about their First Amendment rights, and it's a public space. And so, you know, it's best to just kind of let them do their thing as long as they're not going beyond their, you know, where they should. They should not be walking into individual offices or going into private spaces. They're looking for you to, you know, try to shut them down, to confront them, to call the police, to say they can't do what they're doing. But they really come in with an attitude. And then if you give them any resistance, they'll submit a records request. And then they try to, you know, make the video more
Dramatic.
than it is. And they
Yeah.
post it on YouTube. And then it seems like their followers, the people that are, you know, watching this stuff are in some cases worse than the people that are originally doing it. So
Yeah. The comments the comments section on some of these videos
comments
are just vicious. Absolutely
Yes.
vicious.
yes.
So
They did Hebron, they went to Colchester, they went to Putnam, they were in Meriden. And this guy does this, the one that was in our offices, he does it all across the country. It's not just local. He's from Massachusetts, but he doesn't just do it locally, he's doing it across the country.
Yeah, I've heard that from North Jersey that they're cycling through the New Jersey libraries right now. So normally they head up this way after that. So we should be aware of it. And the other thing is all the library records having to do with the clients and, people's records, library card stuff, that is all private. So, anything that that has to be protected. So Kevin, have you decided how you were going, is that protected as it is now to your satisfaction?
Yeah, all that material is protected and that doesn't get shared with anybody.
Yeah, because they actually will film computer screens.
Well, they don't have access to those computer screens. They
Okay.
have to be in a staff area to see that.
Okay, cool. Okay, so another exciting thing happening. Where are we? Poet laureate. I thought there was something.
Okay, so this is MA's item to speak about. We included a couple of pieces in the packet that were the Poet Laureate Committee came up with a few years back.
This was done, by the time we get anywhere, it will have been done 3 years ago. So, Althea wants to stay on the committee. I hope she can. And Gail Richmond, the other member, I hope she has no more accidents and can move forward. Do we have anyone out there who would like to join the committee? That would be wonderful. And then we can start moving forward and have some little welcoming tea with poem. We had spoken about that. We could have that, probably be January, February, sometime after the holiday season. But you've got the ordinance and you've got publicity and you've got the applications such as they were done back when. Any comments, any new people, anything would be appreciated.
Okay. How many applications have you gotten?
Well, since we haven't had our first meeting or our first
Okay.
tea or our first anything. So needless to say, no, the applications have not been
Okay.
made available at this point.
Okay. These teas, are there going to be cookies?
Yes, we heard you were going to bake them.
Okay. Okay. I wish I could commit to it because my background is in English literature and philosophy, which was a great, major for making money. Okay, so I do have an interest in American poetry. So if I can free up the time, I have a big trial coming up in January, so maybe I can join you for cookies. I'm hoping. Okay. In-person meetings, that's been tabled until March. So the next item, I guess, is strategic plan. Is that something we're discussing tonight?
Yeah, no, just real briefly.
Okay.
So the strategic plan, I'd sent along with the packet a version that was formatted for print. I'm going to be presenting that to the Board of Selectmen on December 1st at their meeting. Originally, we had thought it was going to be this Thursday, but it ended up getting pushed back to December 1st. And we'd love to have a few, familiar faces from the board there to be in the audience and in support. It'll be a virtual meeting, so it's kind of an easy one to show up for and then take off if you need to leave a little bit later. So that's going to be December 1st, and I'm also getting some physical copies of that report printed up. My intention is that, everybody that's on this board can have a physical copy, and then we'll have a couple of extras. So maybe we can, spread them out as need be.
Kevin, I noticed one thing.
Excuse me, I have a raccoon trying to get in my window. I'll be right back.
Okay. I did not read this word for word. I think it looks great in this format. I noticed page 11 and 12 under the, let's see, welcoming. We repeated number 4, and maybe you already found that, but number 4 is at the bottom of page 11 and then also at the top of page 12.
I did send them an updated file. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. This one I had printed out before, so thank you.
Appreciate that.
It's nice to live in the country, but darn. Okay,
Was that a raccoon you said?
it was a raccoon. I have bird feeders
Oh.
and I took them all in and they were not happy and they were looking in the window. So, okay. Right, they do so much damage. Okay. Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
Did you shoot it? What did you do with it?
I turned the light on and put a flashlight in its eye.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just had to know.
No, I don't shoot it. God, my neighbor does. I could call him. I have a neighbor that is getting rid of all the chipmunks in the neighborhood. So anyway, moving on to the 23-24 budget.
Sure. So we talked a little bit about budget last month, and in the wrong window here. Okay, so most important thing tonight that we need to go over is the CIP requests. Those are due to the town tomorrow, I believe. So we really just have one request that falls in this category, and that's something that's been ongoing for the past couple of years. It's the parking lot pulverize and repavement. So I got an updated quote from Kevin Kelly, a number to use. So I've updated that number from what we had last year, and that's about it. So going forward, this is the year that theoretically this project would be done. I know that there's a little bit that may, with the bridge and everything being put into Pendleton, that I understand that maybe this project gets switched around slightly, but this is what we've had going forward. So I just want to make sure we're in the budget for next year, if this is the time that we end up doing this.
Is there anything we should know about the submission?
No, this mission, do you mean?
The submission of this project?
Oh, I don't think so. It's been ongoing, since it actually predates me.
Okay,
So it's just been kind of pushing down the years, and it's finally caught up with the time when maybe we're going to do it.
okay.
And during that time, Pat, we've been working hand in hand with Kevin Kelly
Okay,
so that Kevin knows what's going on, is a proponent and a great ally and asset for us.
yeah, he's a good guy.
Yes, he is. Very, very good guy.
Okay, all right. And let's see, Hebron holiday celebration?
Well, Pat, before we move on,
So that's something.
I'd like to have the board just do a vote to approve
Approve this.
CIP, and then we also have a little bit on our the general fund budget, just a discussion that doesn't need any action after that.
Okay, all right, let's see. May I have a motion to approve the capital projects infrastructure request as presented by Kevin Sullivan in our packet tonight?
I make that motion.
Could I have a second for the motion?
I'll second the motion.
Is there any discussion or questions? Hearing none. Whoops, sorry, go ahead, Peter.
One quick discussion point, please. What we're voting on, the parking lot pulverize repave, that's in the amount of $173,918.
$990.
$919.
$8.
Okay, just wanted to make sure we're working off the same page. Thank you.
Yeah, it was, it's dated 10/28/2022.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Okay, and did anyone else have any questions or concerns? Okay, hearing none, may I have the ayes, please?
Hi.
Aye.
Those opposed? Abstentions? Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead, Kevin, you said there was another item that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, so thank you for that. I'll get that submitted to the town manager's office. And then we started having discussions last month about our proposed 23-24 budget, just the line item budget. So what I did was I have kind of a little bit of a blank slate continuation type budget here. And then I also put together a couple of proposals that we spoke about last month. So this proposed budget here has a little bit of increases in for inflation, but I haven't gone out to vendors to seek out if they're raising their prices or not for next year. Under the part-time payroll, I put in a 4.6% increase. It's a 4% increase, but we need to make sure everybody's making minimum wage. So that isn't quite enough for a few individuals. So it ends up being 4.6. And I discussed that with Andy, and he said that's kind of the ballpark they're hoping that would be able to work for them. So that's what's going on here. It's kind of a working document. We don't have any instruction from the town yet about when they're going to want this, but it'll be the next couple of months. And then as far as the potential proposals, we talked a little bit about increasing staff salaries across the board. So what I used for that was the Connecticut Library Association did a salary study last year, and then they updated it this year based off of average compensation for different library positions in different parts of the state. So I looked at the average compensation for LTAs 1 and 2, which are what we have. We don't have any LTA 3s on staff, which would be $16.53 an hour and $17.83 an hour. And I just looked at the average hours and extrapolated that for how much that would cost to raise the hourly rates to that amount as opposed to, so it'd be a little over the 4%.
So you're raising the amounts to the average compensation?
The average compensation for the surrounding towns.
Oh, surrounding towns.
So that's what this proposal is.
And we're region 3.
We're region 3. So the average is the statewide average. So region
So,
3 would tend to be.
so I understand. So when does this go into effect?
Well, this would be a proposal for next fiscal year. So
Okay.
it would go into effect July 1st if it was something that we wanted to include in the budget and also was passed as a part of the budget.
Okay.
So
The question, so if somebody just walks in off the street, they start making $16.53 next year?
that would be the hiring rate for the LTA ones. Yeah.
Okay. What's the difference between a 1 and a 2?
A 2 has slight supervisory responsibilities. They close the building, they have a key. They have a little more responsibility. Some of them run programs and things like that.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So that's that proposal. And then we took a look at these next few are for opening more hours during the week. So this is something that was part of the strategic plan and something that we've just been kind of discussing over the past few years. So this is for 2 additional hours each Saturday afternoon. So I took the average staff time. The staff time breakdown would be for the 4% increase. It wouldn't be for the increase that we proposed, the higher one. So 8 extra hours of part-time staff hours. And then what I did for additional building costs, I took the total cost of a few items and I broke them down by the amount of hours we're open each week and kind of so we're open 47 hours a week. So an extra 2/47 of the total water budget, natural gas and electricity budget. So that's where I got those numbers from. So that's an additional 2 hours each Saturday afternoon. And for 4 hours each Sunday afternoon. Not that the day makes too much of a difference, but well, so that gets us 32.5 staff hours. The extra 0.5 there is because we have to have an LTA 2 in half an hour early to open up the building. If it's a complete new day we're opening, a Saturday wouldn't have that because we're already open until 3. So a little bit more in staff time there, but not much. And then I did the same thing, extrapolation for the building cost, 8 point at 447. 47s.
So Kevin, you're proposing both Saturday and Sunday?
These were just these were what was asked for me to put together.
Okay.
I'm not proposing one or the other. I'm in support of the library being open more. These are all just, I don't know that we would go for all of these or one of these or what we would like to do, but that would be up to the board to make a recommendation for the budget.
Yeah, okay. I like the Sunday hours because that gives me an extra day to, if I'm working on Saturday.
Yeah.
So just personal preference.
And then another hours proposal is standardizing the weekday operating hours from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is a real big one during the strategic planning process that people didn't know when we opened what were our late days, what were our early days. They really wanted us to be open the same hours every day during the week. So that ends up being 8 additional hours to level it out, 2 hours on Monday, Wednesday, and then 4 hours on Friday because we work 10 to 6 that day. So there's no extra half hours there because we'd already be open one of those days. So we wouldn't need any extra seniors. So 32 staff hours on top of a 17% addition for building costs.
Are these all part-time people or are they full-time people or?
These are all part-time people. So
All
this would be
part-time?
additional part-time people.
Okay, so how many hours does the average person work a week?
Part-timers, they work probably from 10 to 30 hours a week. They can't go over 30 hours.
Okay, yeah. I
So it
understand.
would probably involve hiring more part-timers or
Okay,
unless people really wanted a lot more hours, but I think everybody's mostly happy with what they're getting right now.
okay.
Okay, so that's another additional hours. And then this final is, right, this is the final one, is a proposal for 4 additional staff hours per week outside of the adding the extra open hours to the library. So we cut our part-time staff hours back a few years ago so that we could increase the starting salary from like $10 an hour to closer to 13. So we went from 182 hours each week of part-time down to 161. And that's been mostly working out okay, but we're thin a couple of days. And I've just been told that we could use a few extra hours of staff coverage per week. So this is a proposal for 4 extra part-time staff hours during the week.
Did anyone have any questions or thoughts? Thank you.
Do we need a motion to approve the submission of these additional amounts?
I don't think we need a motion at this point. I think we'd also, want to discuss as a board whether we want to do all of this, whether we want to do part of this, whether there's anything else we want to talk about. We don't have a hard deadline for when budget numbers are due yet. In my mind, we're kind of just, putting together ideas and seeing what they look like. The hours expansion, I know, is a priority as far as the strategic plan goes. But it's also a big ticket item. So that's, it's kind of up to you all what you want to push for.
So is this something we should discuss next week? Or
Yeah, I don't think any action needs to happen now.
next meeting?
So we can discuss it next meeting. We can absorb this a little bit and we can, by then maybe we'll have a better idea of when we're going to need to have a budget submitted anyway.
Kevin, do you keep track of how many patrons you have?
Yeah.
Coming in and out. Do you have that broken down like a graph?
Sure. Yeah.
Is that something you could share with us?
Yeah, so you want the gate counts? So the number
Yeah.
of people coming in and out of the building? I have them broken down by month. Do you want to see how many people are coming in each month, or do you want it in a
Well,
different?
what I'm interested in is, what will give us the most bang for our buck in terms of usage?
Okay,
If you have something that you can supply that would give us some idea about what time the patrons come in, what's the high points?
okay. I'll have to put that together then. I don't have any data about Sundays or Saturday afternoons because we're just not open there.
Yeah, I was wondering, is there any other library that we could get information from?
Well, I could ask around. I know that some libraries do Sunday hours and are open later on Saturdays.
Yeah, because I mean, I go to different libraries depending, because I go to Glastonbury a lot, but maybe they could give us an idea of how much traffic they have. Thank you. Did anyone else have any questions or thoughts? No? So can we put this on the agenda for next week then?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. Can I move on to number 7 now, the Hebron holiday celebration?
Yep. So that is coming up on December 3rd. So the Hebron holiday celebration is the town's tree lighting. And we've been trying to make it more of a community event. So last year we expanded a little bit to have the choir come from the high school. And we had some musicians there and some yard games from Parks and Rec. And we had the scouts doing some tabling, and we were distributing hot cocoa. It's just a nice event on a Saturday afternoon in the winter. So the library closes up at 3, and then we did crafts in the community room. And then there'll be some things happening outside in the parking lot area. And then as it gets dark at 5 o'clock, Santa comes around and the tree is lit up for the holiday season. So I'm just wanted to let you know that it's coming up. This is kind of a nice event for the library because a lot of people maybe don't visit the library regularly, but happen to see it for this event. And that we're always looking for more volunteers. We could use some more hands to help out with crafts and different events on that Saturday afternoon. So just for a couple of hours, if you can spare it and would like to be there, we'd love to have a few helping hands for those times.
And if you could bring also the toy, clothing, food thing for the truck, it would be a great thing. There's so much need right now. So sounds great. I guess we're moving on to new business, the Sherry Woods service recognition.
Okay, so Althea and I were talking about this a little bit. Sherry's been working for the library for 20 years, this past August, I believe.
Is it 20 or 25?
Oh, I think it's 25. You're right.
25,
It's
right.
25.
So Althea's been around for 25 years. Haha.
Longer than that.
So as a staff, we did a little bit of a card and a cake just to recognize her for that. And Althea thought it might be a nice idea for the board to recognize her as well. And I think that's a nice idea if we're interested in doing, a little certificate or something like that.
Any thoughts on what would be appropriate?
The little plaque or something like that would be, fairly easy to come up with, or some sort of printed out letter or something like that of appreciation. She might like.
So no gold watch.
If we can afford a gold watch, that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Kevin, I think it's a great idea. I'm not sure what to do, but I think it's a great idea, and we should do that for Sherry.
In the old days, they used to give out pen sets, but who uses pens anymore? So, okay. I agree that's an excellent thing to do. Question is what? What she would appreciate more or enjoy more.
Kevin, do you know of anything that she, is passionate about or or
I don't have a
anything that
great-
you particularly likes?
I don't have a great gift idea off the top of my head. With some brainstorming, I could come up with something.
Okay,
I think
does-
the idea of like something that she can hang up and kind of show off her service would be appreciated, because I think that,
Yeah,
you know, she
Mhm.
wants.
So no t-shirts then, okay.
well, maybe talk with Claire, maybe she knows something.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
We could
I
give
just
her-
thought,
I'm sorry, we could give her the dinosaur footprint.
oh, you're bad.
Well, she likes it,
Yeah.
so, okay. Any other thoughts? Okay, is there any other new business that anyone wants to bring forward? Okay. And hearing none, I'm moving on to strategic plan committees. For any updates? Don't speak at once. I guess safe space, Peter?
Nothing new to report, Pat.
Okay. Technology, I guess I want to call on Donna.
Nothing new, nothing that I haven't reported or Kevin hasn't reported up above. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see, technology, diversity, Kevin.
So Dale and I haven't talked a ton about it, but the photography exhibit does fit into what we're trying to do as far as diversity goes in the library.
Okay. And community, oh, Gail, not here. Did anyone want to speak to that? No? Okay. And lifelong learning out there.
I had been trying to get in touch with Claire, but I didn't she didn't get back to me, so I don't have anything to report right now.
Okay. And I guess that's it. And our next meeting is December 12th. Okay, right before the holidays. If there isn't anything else, may I have a motion for adjournment?
So move.
A second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
I
Aye. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Be
everybody.
safe.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you very much.